Good morning, and ladies and gentlemen, everyone who's here. Thanks for being part of this webinar. Yeah, um, especially that on a one day before the eve of a holiday, and you are here with us to listen in and to be able to grasp all the knowledge that is necessary for you for the factory floor to digital core. I'm sure that there will be quite a bit of information that you can always take from here. Now, warm welcome to all of you joining us, probably from Singapore, Philippines as well, and as far as Cambodia and maybe beyond. So thank you for being here for this exclusive webinar. My name is Dilip, and I'm the CEO of Pinnacle Technology. Now, I know that I'm not visible at the moment, but I will go through certain agenda. Then, of course, we can go to the next chapters, introducing the rest of the people. Yeah. Now, we are right now at the very pivotal movement in the evolution of manufacturing as a industry 4.0 reshapes the way we think about operations, connectivity, and scalability. This session will explore how organization can move from a traditional factory floors to smart AI-powered, digitally integrated ecosystems. Together with a panel of our speakers, we'll uncover strategies, tools, and real-world insights that will help you lead successful digital transformation initiatives in your organization. Now, before we begin, just a quick reminder to all of you. This session allow you to drop your questions in the Q&A. Yeah, you will be able to see the Q&A. Click on your medium that you have joined in. Have a look. There is a Q&A button there. So we allow question and answers that is towards the end of the webinar. Yeah. That way, at least you will be able to get a bit of a, understanding, even more understandings. Yeah. Now, I would like to bring you through the main part of it is of course the agenda itself. So we will have a break at 10:40 to 10:50 a.m. Yeah. Just before that, we will have David Yam from he's a senior solutions architect at Alibaba Cloud. And then we have Praveen, who's a director of Pinnacle Technology. He will do a presentation and demo. After the break, we will have another industry expert from Blue Ocean Data Solutions, right? So we will try to squeeze everything and finish by 11:20 for the Q&A session. And the last part of it is the Q&A and ending at 11:45. Now, just a little bit about Industry 4.0. As you know, the automation and technology is the main part of Industry 4.0 in manufacturing. It improves the production and factory floor with a lot of connectivity elements there, right? So automation plays a big part in Industrial 4.0. Use of data and analytics to optimize processes. As we all know that this is a very key part of automation also, because data and analytics are the key factors here which pulls all the information and provides good enough data and analytics for the decision makers to make a decision, or for reporting or finance and etc. So data and analytics plays a very key role here. IoT, AI, machine learning for task and decision automation is very key part of this as well. Robots and autonomous machines for repetitive and hazardous and precision tasks. Now, if you know that the robots and autonomous machines have gone very far ahead, yeah. In fact, in Malaysia, we are not really very strongly into robots and autonomous machines. But for example, China has gone leap and bounds with that. Yeah. So we are supposed to also catch up with this type of Industry Revolution 4.0 solutions and smart factories for self-optimization of production processes. Now, there's a vertical. These are verticals of Industrial Revolution 4.0, where all this plays a big part and parcel of the what do you call this factory floor to digital core. So big data and AI analytics, horizontal and vertical integration, cloud computing, augmented reality. Well, horizontal and vertical integration, let me just explain a little bit. It is basically connecting every part of your factory into an integrated mechanism. That's horizontal or vertical integration. Cloud computing, everyone knows this quite a bit. In fact, Alibaba Cloud would be speaking a little bit about their solution also. Augmented reality, when you can actually try to simulate on a sort of like a look and feel without actually being able to see it physically, but is able to visualize. Industrial Internet of Things, additive manufacturing, 3D printing, this is pretty much very strong. There are some conferences out there for all those. Autonomous robots and simulation or digital twins. This will also be touched a little bit by Alibaba Cloud later, and cybersecurity. Right. So I think we are at the right junction now where we can actually start letting our speakers come on board and give a little bit of information. So I think, so I would like to introduce David. David is a system thinker and a data enthusiast. Now he's a senior solutions architect of Alibaba Cloud. Just a second, sir. So everyone can actually see me. Sorry. So David is a senior solutions architect with Alibaba Cloud, and he has actually helped enterprise clients design and implement scalable data-driven solutions using Alibaba Cloud technology. It's focusing on big data, AI, digital transformation. We all know that Alibaba Cloud is you know, they have been there for a while, and they have gone leap and bounds in how they can actually scale operations for manufacturing industries using their cloud solution. So this is why David is here to be able to give very good insights and also allow everyone to also ask questions towards the end of the event today. Yeah. So if without too much of time, I think I will pass on the floor to David, who will bring us about on his keynote speech and bring us through on your presentation as well. Thank you. Please, David. Yeah.
Yeah, just want to check. You can see my screen, right? Yeah, sorry, just want to check. Can you see my screen?
Yes, we can. We can. Yeah.
Okay. So what I'm going to show is a YouTube video about some of China's automation in the factories, and it's quite widespread. So I'll just pause and show a bit of the video.
By adopting smart manufacturing technologies, China steel production has become more sustainable and cost-effective. This shift is not just about innovation, it's a clear strategy to maintain leadership in the global steel market. In Guangdong Province, a former family-run apparel business has become a trailblazer in China industrial automation with its transformation into a 5G-enabled smart factory. Led by second-generation entrepreneur Wu Weijian, this factory utilizes automated manufacturing processes to modernize production. By integrating robotics and smart systems, the business now delivers globally competitive products. With robotics in Chinese factories, local brands are expanding overseas.
Oh, we lost. Sorry, David, you're on mute. Yeah.
Oh, just check. Can see my slides also.
Yeah, we can see your slides.
Okay, that's great. Yeah. So what you just saw was some of the automated manufacturing plants in China, and they manufacture many things from clothing to, like you saw, steel. They also manufacture whole cars. So actually, you will see now that uh, the the rate of car production in China has about tripled everywhere else in the world, and they really produce and manufacture a lot of this very quickly. And one of the underlying enablement factor is automation and AI. So for today, I'll share a bit more of how Alibaba has contributed to this and what solutions within Alibaba that can be used to do this manufacturing revolution. And also handle some questions at the end. So maybe just some initial information about Alibaba. So Alibaba has been using AI across our whole group, not just for manufacturing, but for other areas as well. So if you see at the extreme left side, Alibaba started out as an e-commerce. So we are very well versed in our own e-commerce AI technologies. So one of the AI technology that we use is Snap and Buy. So you can take an image, take an image of something you want to buy, and then you will search inside. After you purchase this, we use automated drones to do delivery. So we have drones, those on the floor, those that fly around to deliver shipping orders. So this is actually quite popular in China. And then also in terms of customer service, we also use drones and AI to do first level answering of questions. So these are just some examples that we have in Alibaba Group. And I'll be talking more about those in manufacturing later on. So a lot of these are supported by our own Gen AI solutions, and we have our own foundation model called Tongyi. So these are utilized in a lot of our businesses. So some of the businesses that do logistics and manufacturing, example as Cainiao, we have this all used inside their services and operations, and we also use this to support our customers in the manufacturing industries as well. And these are widely used across all industries. So today I'm focusing on manufacturing, but this is just to show that okay, we have been using this across the years in all the different industries, not just manufacturing, but logistics, automobile, internet as well. And in Asia and in this region, we have all the required certifications. So there is no worry about any malpractice or miscompliance. If you're talking about Malaysia, we follow these specific industry laws as well. As well as in Singapore, these regional laws as well. So that was all about, in general, about Alibaba. Now, if you talk about Alibaba's solutions for manufacturing and automotive, so we have multiple solutions, and I would say, I think you can cut this as a lasagna piece. So if you look at the bottom layer, is infrastructure as a service, where we provide public cloud, private cloud, and a hybrid cloud. And we also provide the various securities and compliances required. But different manufacturing bodies don't always want to access at this infrastructure level. Sometimes they're not very proficient at doing their own development. So they want platforms, industry-specific platforms or Gen AI specific platforms. But sometimes they also don't want to do it at this level, and they prefer applications that are already ready-made. So later I'll be talking about some of these applications and these examples here. So one example that we have that I can show today is about smart marketing as well as a smart cabin usage. So this is more for the automotive, but there have also been uses in the manufacturing industry as well.
朋友说最近买了个新车，全款下来还不到10万元，我不信，就去问了问，说是在汽车之家上查询到的底价才买的，这上面价格透明，而且足不出户，在家就可以车的性能了解清楚。你要是也想买车的话，就赶紧点击视频下方的链接，下载看看吧。
嗨，小航，打开百变空间。
好呀，描述一下你想要的空间吧。
我想在西湖边看日落。
好的 ，EAGC 正在为您生成场景中，请稍等片刻。
它会联动车内的硬件，空调、座椅、按摩，所有的这些硬件，包括那个香氛，达到这样的一个场景。
Okay, so what you've seen here on the left-hand side, if you notice actually this person here is a digital avatar. It's actually not an actual human, but one that is generated using GenAI. And the script that she was given was also the script was written by human, but the wording that she said, as well as the language and the movement of the lips, were all done by GenAI. So these are some of the ways that we do enable marketing. For this example is for automotive, but we also have examples in finance as well as manufacturing that use the digital agents to provide maybe training videos or initial videos to explain to customers. On the right hand side, what you see here is an integration of our LLM into a car. So a lot of the electric vehicles now in China have LLM that allows you to talk to the car as well as control the functions of the car and generate music as well as generate images within the car itself.
朋友说最近买了个。
So these are some of the solutions that we have at the highest level, which is really ready-made SaaS solution for customers to utilize. Another one that I'll be talking about is a digital twin solution. So some of the pain points in this manufacturing companies that we have is that they need to customize and it's very time consuming for traditional manufacturing, and they cannot visualize what's happening inside their manufacturing space. They're not very tech savvy, and they come from people that have built this up from scratch. So they are very good with the physical aspect, but they don't understand how they can visualize this. And because the manufacturing body is very big, the manufacturing plant is very huge, they cannot see everywhere. They cannot understand where the issue is happening. So they would prefer to have a digital twin that they can straight away pinpoint, okay, this issue is happening at this area, and then straight away zoom into the videos happening at this area and to understand what's happening. So what we provide for them is a physical and virtual digital twin. So we have sensors of each of the devices, and we integrate this into our digital twin visualization and allow certain simulations or issues happening in the digital twin and see how this affects and allow the users to understand. So our digital twin product, which is our own self-developed internal platform, allows for visualization of the physical space there. It allows for actual product simulation. So you can simulate the actual production state, what's happening now based on the data that is provided from the devices itself. But I can also allow real-time simulation. So one is actually what's happening there. The second one is, I want to simulate conditions that won't usually happen. You can also integrate this with a VR AR aspect. So maybe you want to train your staff on how to put these pieces together or how to use this new equipment, but you don't want to fly them down all the way to the equipment itself. So you can integrate this with some VR AR aspect for them to try it out first, but it would not be entirely perfect. So it's just for them to try out maybe 80% first before going out to the actual site. And we also integrate AI capabilities into the digital twin and pull feeds from the actual site itself. So this is an example video of one of the digital twin for one of our customer. Okay, other than digital twins, we also integrate AI technologies into the manufacturing plants. So for example, this solution, mentioned as one of the last section, is about analyzing visual data of the personnel inside the plant itself. And this provides hazard alarms as well as assisting manual real-time monitoring. So you already have a staff to view all of the cameras, but in a manufacturing plant, there's just too many cameras. There's too many things to view. So how should this person focus on certain areas to look at? So we provide AI together with these visual aspects to assist. So for example,
sorry, David, are you able to play us that video again? We actually, I myself wasn't able to see. It was an interesting one. I wanted to actually see it.
Oh yes, okay, sure.
Yeah, we didn't actually see.
Is it showing on your side?
Right. It's moving. It's not playing as intended, I think.
Oh, maybe it's the connection a bit janky.
Yeah, but it's okay. Let's move. No problem.
Yeah. Okay, let's move on. Okay, so here is about using AI, vision-based AIs in specific, to flag certain categories. Example, you are worried about safety of your staff, or when he does this action, he should be wearing a helmet, he should be wearing a safety belt, but he really isn't. Or he should not be smoking in the factory. He should not be using his phone in the factory in these areas. So essentially, we use AI technologies in the manufacturing plants to assist this. So other than the digital twin, we also have a solution called OpenTrack. So what happens is that for a lot of these industries, they are worried about their security and safety. So they don't want to have like a public cloud solution, or most of them don't want to have a public cloud solution, and they want a privately deployed LM solution or privately deployed infrastructure solution. So we offer them OpenTrack. So OpenTrack is a private knowledge management and model training solution that can sit on any underlying GPU cards or CPU cards. So with the multiple chips, we provide multiple open source models. And because Quen itself is open source, it can be deployed almost anywhere. We provide a infrastructure and a platform for them to do development. And from there, the customer will bring the industry know-how of manufacturing, of automotive, of finance to put it all together. So in this case, this is not a ready-made solution, but it's a platform that customers can use. And in this platform, we have a knowledge center with all the knowledge bases that customer can use to upload their documents, as well as a training center. We have a model center where you can fine-tune and train the models, be it supervised fine-tuning or LoRa fine-tuning. We also have a tool center. So depending on whether you allow this on-premise solution to connect to internet or connect to certain areas, we have certain tools that can be used to maybe do calculations or do your own internal tools that have APIs. And we also allow agents that can use the knowledge base, can use the models and the tools to work together to do a certain action. And lastly, we have a way to evaluate this. So we evaluate this, evaluate agents, evaluate the tools, and this is all an offline setting. But we also provide either a private cloud, a private cloud, private VPC, or public cloud solution through our own GenAI platform. So the difference between the OpenTrack solution and the GenAI platform solution is that OpenTrack is only for private deployment. So certain customers want only private deployment. Certain customers are okay with a hybrid deployment. And with it, there is a reduced cost and more flexibility. So one of our solution is called Platform for AI. It is a one-stop AI R&D lifecycle solution. So as I showed just now, where you have images of the power plant, images of the manufacturing center, and I want to do some kind of classification. I want to say, okay, this person is not wearing a seatbelt. You can use this platform for AI to do the training for this. And some of the solutions within, one of it is allow you to easily deploy ready-made solutions or ready-made AI. Another one is to allow you to do training on the platform itself. So you just need to upload your training data, be it images, be it text, and just in the workflow say, I want to do this training on this particular model. And we will provide you the underlying infrastructure as well as the training algorithm to do the training itself. But if you want to do more fine-grained access, we also provide you a workflow to be able to design and be able to tune your model yourself. And if you want to go even deeper as a step, you want to write code, you want to do, okay, I want Python, I want to use PyTorch, I want to use TensorFlow. I don't want to use your no-code, low-code designer. You can actually write the code yourself and design it yourself in the coding language that you prefer. And from this, integrate into our online service to do the deployment. But if you don't want to do the training yourself, you want to just call LM APIs, we also provide this at the public cloud as well as private cloud level. So we provide large language models, be it text-based at the top left, vision-based understanding ones. So vision-based models. So example, in the case that I showed before of these vision-based problems, vision-based classifications, models such as QuenVL, large language vision model, and QVQ as well as QVQ Max are quite well used in these areas. So from a scratch, you can just take a image and then put it into QVQ or QuenVL and ask it, okay, how can I ask it in English language to try to understand and label it for you. At the first cut, you can do that without any fine tuning. And if you want to get more accurate results, then you can use our DLC, distributed learning containers method to do the training to make it more fine-tuned to that use case. And we also allow video generation and other solutions. So we have a solution called Model Studio, which you can actually just try out with a playground and platform, which exposes this text-based, image-based, audio-based, and generation LLMs. And you can try it yourself. So this is so I took a photo of a gathering that I had, and then I just asked the LLM, okay, what is this in this image? So it tells me that it's 7 people in this Dallas cafe and bar, and these are what the people are doing. You can do the different configurations and the different temperature itself. So this is a very easy way to just try out and get access to LLMs and get access to our AI. So today, during my sharing, I shared about Alibaba Cloud and how it's helped the manufacturing automotive industry, as well as some of the solutions and platforms in the back end that we use to provide this. At the upper level, we provide SaaS or ready-made solutions for customers to take in, to install and just use it. But the lower line level, we provide platforms for customers to train it themselves or to integrate with their own systems, to fine-tune it for a particular use case that we might not have SaaS solutions or our partners might not have SaaS solutions. But we also want to note that we have many partners such as Pixel and Blue Ocean that use our underlying platforms, that use our infrastructure as a service, and assist customers such as yourself to either build SaaS solutions or to build custom solutions specific for your industry, specific for manufacturing. And they utilize our underlying PaaS, infrastructure as a service solutions, to integrate it and put it all together. So with this, I will pass the time on to Praveen to do some sharing about how they have used this and how they've integrated and their solutions for their customers. So I thank you for your time.
Thank you, David. So, David, also a question for you. Has any deployment been made in that kind of advancement in Malaysia, or maybe for Philippines also, on behalf of Philippines also, I speak, and Singapore? Has there been any? And I mean, I'm sure it has been done in China for sure.
Definitely.
Has there been any in our region?
So I would say in in Singapore region, if you look at our ports, our national port actually has quite a lot of automation capabilities, and these utilize cloud-based Alibaba technologies as the base end. So yes, for our ports, Singapore port itself, but I would say for Malaysia and Philippines, I'm not aware of such solutions. I think for one, maybe they are not as advanced in this area yet, or they've not as aware. But you don't always have to jump straight away into the automated manufacturing, everything automated. You can pick up small steps first. Maybe I just want to have a camera feed, or I just want to digitalize some of aspects first. Then from this camera feed, I put an LLM inside, and from there move towards fully automated. So it's a process. You don't have to get all the way to the end now.
Right. Got it. And I was very interested to see the digital twins, because it's actually an extended version of augmented reality technology. So digital twins is actually producing sort of like being able to even go in the depth of simulation of an actual practice. Obviously, it is not creating a product by say, but the process being it's possible to visualize that on a digital twins at the same, I think, seamlessly. Yeah, if I should say.
Yes.
Right. Okay. So thank you, David, for your time. Great presentation, and I mean, everyone hopes that was hoping that it can be even longer, but of course we have multiple speakers here that also need to share their time, and we value your time. Yeah, thank you, David. Now, in terms of big data, AI analytics, horizontal vertical integration, cloud computing, augmented reality, industrial Internet of Things, and quite a number of them. Now, we do also have Mr. Praveen, who will also try to bring us up to date on what is available on the SAP Analytics. So Mr. Praveen has been extensively helping clients on the IT consulting enterprise solutions. Now he's a ERP person, 100%. He has all the knowledge to make sure factory smart manufacturing can be actually implemented in a way that will be very purposeful and producing results. So now he will actually help us to bring about our awareness on the analytics part, and of course certain aspects where he can actually share his insights, and probably a demo as well. So we will probably do that. Yeah, so we can start with that. Yeah. So I think if Praveen is ready, then we could actually proceed to your part of presentation, Praveen. So I hand it over to you. Yeah, thank you.
Great. Good morning, everybody. Thanks for joining. My name is Praveen, and I am basically the solution architect for Pixelcare. And with my partner, Dilip, who is CEO responsible for the Malaysian operations. We've been running a lot of activities regionally as well as internationally, trying to connect to customers who are fairly need some solution improvements, digitization, and many other, how do I say, activities that they were not able to achieve in a seamless way. Let me just begin starting discussing who we are as a company portfolio here. So I'll just walk through this quickly, about 5 minutes. Then from there, we'll touch on some of the analytical elements, as well as how does it help a manufacturing entity such as yours and those who are aspiring to go on this roadmap as to pick any one of the known methods with the current transformation that is ongoing. Now, let me just quickly try to show these slides here. Hope you can see it. So to begin with, the whole view of us being we are an entity which is aiming to basically advance ourselves into technological spaces beyond the traditional ERP. We are trying to embark on many AI as well as analytical elements as such. And then coming from that perspective, we are trying to help our customers to achieve all this in a lower TCO, as in total cost of investments, as well as quicker solution adaptability, already off the shelves solutions such as Alibaba, who are our partners here, been working with them for a while. And the niches include not only to go down to tailor fit the requirements that every individual company has, and the whole need is to understand their pain points as well as trying to get close to them in terms of understanding or helping them out. Operational is what we do in our aims. So for the past 10 years plus that we've been running the show, we've been very client-centric. So the client-centric activities, like I said, is primarily to keep a very seamless or a lean, low-cost solution that can come in and certain affordability, try to reach out to both regional as well as international clients, such as what we have across the region. Industry specialists in the sense that we are trying to sort of niche ourselves into multiple industries, not having to go become a supermarket of sorts, but we picked a certain specific industries, manufacturing being one, to try and elementize and isolate some of the pain points that a manufacturing floor has to have. Integrations is something that we do all the time, anything from the retail, from the front end manufacturing. We have done some healthcare, e-commerces, and many other front end systems that we bridge into an ERP at the back end, irrespective of which flavor of the ERP that is. The recent integration that we did was more of the invoicing, so that's something that we have performed as well. In terms of client as well as partnerships, as you can see, we have two of good partners here, Alibaba and as well as Blue Oceans. We do rope in a lot of technology as well as solutioning partners where we see the value add of their own companies as well as their contributions in the market. And then we try to extend it to our existing customers wherever that is necessary. Again, these are handpicked, and most of the initiatives now that we have on hand is to virtualize much of the physical systems. So virtualizing elements from P2V kind of initiative from there, enabling technology, enabling securities, infrastructures, and all this is something that we do. So right now we are in Malaysia, Singapore, and Philippines. We are extending our capabilities into Cambodia. And then beyond that, we have several projects that's ongoing across overseas markets. Project reach is there. Strategic partnerships are there, like I mentioned, wherever that is necessary, we go and pitch in and rope in our services. In terms of client diversities, we are looking at not only the Asia-Pac region, but beyond, and that gives us a full knowledge base as well as information and the localities or the way customers think comes into play, where we are able to sort of manage their expectation as well as certain barriers that we are about to break in. We also carry some flavors of consultants who are sitting into different regions to support such agendas. Yeah. So client-centric initiatives technically means not only TCO, where implementation methodologies are more or less templatized. So assuming that you are a Malaysian origin company and that there are some laws locally that you have to be compliant about. What we do is we try to templatize the whole thing and then make rollouts quicker and faster. Now this comes in as our experiences working with tax authorities, agents, the bodies, the governments that we have sort of templatized a specific manufacturing floor or probably a trading unit of sorts. We try to implement and cut down the time. So everything along the way we carry improvisations, innovation, as well as workflow enhancement. So a typical example being re-engineering. So we walk into this floor or manufacturing setup where there are some struggles and a breakaway activity here and there. We try to rope that together, form a business process, make it almost an ISO ready compliance document that that we'll try to implement through a given system if there is any, or probably re-implement it if necessary, just to streamline. So part of it is all included within the problem solving skills as well. So the pain points, as we hear, we act like your own. We sit there, we do this and be a part of the team. And so that it's not just a regular implementation, but there's somebody who can try to relate to your pain point, what we do. So in terms of industries that we picked fairly across the board, but trying to zoom into some of these manufacturing elements with Industry 4.0, or now soon to come is Industry 5. This is where the next speaker, Mr. Bong, will talk a bit on what they have done and that can be integrated. Engineering side, we have done quite a lot of engineering and as well as flaws like measures, valves, some kind of a construction sites, all these kind of thing can be part of some of these engineering works. We carry a ton of F&B as well, retail customers, where if you happen to be doing a retail business, not just an F&B, but a store specific retail, that's where the omni-channel POSs come in. And about 40% or more are connected to trading and services, I would say. The consulting arm of us, which is very objective and as well as very engaging with our customers. So this happens where we have a very strong support structure. We carry out activities pre, post, or even during implementation to handhold our customers, try to get to the bottom of things and what they require and all that. So such initiatives are already a sort of a backbone to our existing consulting structure. We are trying to conduct some researches, assuming that a company is trying to miss out certain analytics, in this case, this being the subject. So we try to go into deep diving of the data, the masters, and how things are fairly organized before it becomes a data of a business intelligence or AI element. So as you can see, the mother of it all will still be an ERP system, unfortunately, but anything that has to be churned out of ERP will be the big data. So how do you align the data? How do you manage and present the data is something that we could sort of streamline. And acting on such solutioning development is all about, once we capture a requirement, so to speak, we go about detailing the specifications, we get all the pain points necessary, and then we lay it out as to what has to be the priorities when it comes to slicing and dicing of information. All that is part of implementation. All that is part of a certain phased activity. And of course, there are certain approaches, or it's broken down into several pieces, I would say. There's also an element of mobile and CRM. So there's, at the very top, we have mobility solutions. We do a lot of CRM solutions. We connect a lot of cloud integration. We have also the industry specifics. Now it depends on what you have for a need, because we do both proprietary as well as custom solutions. Again, it depends where the pain points are, then we can go about talking. Some of the manufacturing automation is what I will let Mr. Bong speak next up, but this will be very interested for those who may have already an ERP, but then struggling to put it all in an operational perspective, or whoever so has a manual way of doing things and you just want a sort of a MES sort of a setup or execution systems kind of a setup. Additionally, all these ends up in BI sort of a agenda. So this is one thing I will show you into the ERP that I'm going to share in a moment for the demo. So this includes data-driven information, transformation information, BI information, as well as a very standard and as well as customer reporting. A lot of clients approach us for us to build a portal, a website, an e-invoice, something, GST, something, anything that is bespoke is also done around here. Now, this comes as in when ERPs or any backend systems are limited. That is where we are able to tailor fit certain things and bring that block in between anything that adds for a gap. So these are some of the diverse systems that we can sort of connect and implement. We are a SAP service provider, and much of these are the latest versions of SAP, which I will just show. And for those who are connected to SAP and also Microsoft, you can always approach us. whereby we could sort of implement from end to end a whole infrastructure of SAP at the back end, as well as the ERP components. The Xeonic is all about POS that we do. E-invoice is something that I would like to touch a little bit. We have about quite a capture on the customers on the phase 1 and 2. We implemented ERP around Malaysia, and then they have been successfully putting those documents up, and then the validations have been into play. And we are trying to extend this currently into other regions as well, especially Philippines as well as Cambodian region. So pretty much the same agenda that we do. So if you have any need of such, we could always have a single hosting. Some of the client alliances come in these regions. These logos are locally born, locally bred in Malaysia, and then they are being surfaced as well as supported right now as we speak into different domains. Our partners, again, one of them here being Alibaba. It's very good that we've been connected to Alibaba for a while, and the technological edge Alibaba has is its innovation capability, its application rendering, as well as providing more than an infrastructure, I would say. So if a customer wants to go from physical to virtual, then they are able to embark on a certain technological spaces and all that. For further information, I believe you can reach out to Dilip. There's a number here. These slides, you can take a screenshot of it if you would like. And please get in touch with him for any further information, all right? I'll try to quickly touch on the last agenda. It's about the analytics part. Let me put up that piece as well. You can see my screen here. Please tell me if you see.
I mean, no.
Right.
Yes.
So if, this is my portfolio. So been working in the space for over 20 years, rather 15 plus years, I would say. And then I've touched on many industries as well as verticals and systems. So that gives me an ample experience of what I do across the industry, specifically the larger enterprise, the medium scale, and so on. So this is just to share my portfolio here. In terms of technicalities, currently or specifically to Pixelcare's agenda, we are trying to focus on 4 limbs of what we see being a mandatory item, part of any solutioning. Starts with the traditional ERP, and many ERP vendors who will just roll out and leave may not have done enough justice to a customer or a client who may have paid for such service and not fully utilize it. So many systems that have been just financially enabled, but anything operational, sales, purchasing, inventory has been left empty. So that sort of a thing we will contribute by re-implementing. To add to that will be the manufacturing segment. So a traditional ERP should offer elementary manufacturing minus the MES or shop floor, I would say, where you could do MRPs or production planning and all that kind of a thing is available. With the Industry 4, you're extending the whole ERP into a shop floor, a work in progress sort of a setup. So this happens when you are trying to issue materials into the production units, and then you're trying to handle such information along the chain of manufacturing. Well, all this will add up to some big TV screens up there where you are analyzing data, you're trying to check traceabilities, manage production schedules. All of this will be now part of an extension that will be rendered off the ERP and handed over to a next MES sort of a setup, which Mr. Bong will discuss in a detail. And in excess, we are able to build some intelligence where it could be a query based, it could be a text or speech, so to speak. So it depends on where you're seated, on what levels that you want to inquire what exactly. So such queries, typically like this ChatGPT or some other AI, OpenAI, all these guys will use more of a text or a speech sort of thing where a bit of learning component comes in. These are embedded within an ERP where you are attempting to churn some reports. But this can also be sort of managed. given one ERP whereby the majority of you may have been using this SAP as a backend, what we are attempting to do also is to extend the core SAP functionality into cloud, which means we are able to move your native installation into cloud. That's with Alibaba, for example, and they are certified to host SAP systems as such. And then comes about analytics, so whereby we could just churn the BI component where ERP is assumed stable. So these things can be added. On top, there are some single or multiple workflows or mobility technologies which you can probably customize or even have it off the shelf if necessary from SAP. And all of that will gather into big data where much of the information is being collected over a period of time. That will add to the machine learning, where the machine learning element will be more of the AI component that you'll be able to leverage on. And in between, you could probably hook up some systems. So PLCs, any manufacturing machine or equipment that is sort of presented in your current setup can also be integrated back into the ERP, whichever that is possible. So such things, if you are somebody who is into developing your infrastructure productivities, as well as engagements of such things can be managed. To add to it is some of the latest versions of ERP, where you can sort of analyze these things. I'll try to go into a demo quickly after this. Yeah. So you are able to see this nice visual, I would say. Traditional ERP has been a very blue screen for many, and then a lot of other systems are very accounting based and less of integration. So the integration elements comes in where you're trying to pull out a particular customer data, linking to accounts, linking to inventories, linking to transactions, and so on can be sort of seen over here, right? And by doing this, how do I begin? You know, the many customers would probably want to know, how do we begin such exercise? Where do we start? Ideally, you would have to, for any construction, you would probably have to draft the blueprinting. So many times we'll be looking at the blueprinting the entirety of the operations to try and isolate and understand what are the pain points, make a wish list out of it, and then try to plan your roadmap. Now, the paperwork is very important, and many times vendors in ERP ignore this and just give out whatever customer expects. That is a little bit common nowadays, just to save time and money, I would believe. But the ideal thing to do here is to have a proper blueprinting, a proper documentation of how your roadmap has to work. Is this material good enough for you to use for years? Is this something saturated that you will stick on with for some time? Or how are you going to evolve out of different limbs that you might be able to create in the future? So these things are something that you need to sort of streamline. So basic infrastructure, which has to exist, and very well-defined workflows or standard operating processes or procedures in this case, where you know what every department and the handshake in between, as well as all that has to happen on a paper. And for the next is to see and identify what are the things that you could sort of fairly semi or fully automate. This includes not only process with humans, but also system-wise, you know, wherever the transactions are streamlined. So this is something that we could also help out with. Finally, no implementation works without a proper people participation. Now, half the time or 3/4 of the time, implementation fail not because the system or anything that you buy is not a premium product. If you buy a Ferrari and put a tall guy in there, it doesn't work. So it's the same. So you need to have something that matches user expectations, and there's a lot of homework one has to do to go about getting the user's mindset, getting them prepared, even start with a pilot or a small segment wherever it's necessary. So all these things are not typically handled by vendors, so to speak, because they are very much a standard roadmap or a highway that they take. We go down to certain elements where we try to analyze user behaviors as well. So this comes in as a part of our way of executing implementations. So that being said, this is an end of my presentation, except that I will just put up a quick analytical view or a demo here that I have. One moment. Dilip, tell me if you see this.
Coming up. Yes, we can.
Right.
Thank you.
I'll just take about a few minutes to go about showcasing what this is. Because we are looking at SAP B1 as one product, it could be a Microsoft Nav, it could be an Epic Core, it could be a NetSuite, it could be anything. Now, this shows the capability of us having to implement any of these systems which we have in the past. But why SAP is because we are catering this in the need of the hour, just one product per se, and where SAP comes in, we are able to help some of our customers to get them on board with a full or true cloud solution. So what happens is, assuming you're using SAP in your native place or wherever the server sitting behind you maybe right now, we are able to sort of bundle it, pack it up, and then send to Alibaba or a cloud infrastructure in this case, which is again, depending on the compliance. If you come from a compliance perspective, it could be locally hosted in your own countries, if it's some regulation or government. And then Alibaba's infrastructure allows certain compliances. They have papers to show that this is locally hosted, it's secured and safe and spam-free and stuff. And we have been doing this for quite a few years, about third or fourth year running with Alibaba, that we have hardly glitched out with them. And then it's a good sign that we wanted to extend this even further. Now that gives us credibility to work on a platform which is cloud enabled. And then we are hosting it on a URL, which is fairly presentable from anywhere or any part of the world, provided you have proper internet speeds. What does this mean? People have flexibility. They can now don't give an excuse that, oh, look, I cannot access. You do not need a VPN connect as such. And then this is all browser enabled. So much of these things that you see is a full operating system application where you can manage each of these activities. So for basic information now that I have to just look into my home screen. So I've got all these counters sitting, so I could be able to see how many order entries I have, purchases that I've done, PO, CRM side, I could see how many activities that's going on with the salespersons. I could see on the sales front how many things that have been open or order entries and so on. This can be again segregated based on who needs to see what exactly at the line item level. So assuming if I go into inventory accounting in this case, those accountants will be very interested to know what are their receivables. So we can be able to check on all the receivables and all the order entries and everything that we are able to sort of publish. Now, one of those things that I probably will pick up here would be, let me see. But production guys would want to know something very specific when it comes to handling of the inventory transactions, production details, then some line items which are fairly rendered in details with the MES server platform, which I will let Mr. Bong declare. Yeah. So these are some of the small snippets of things. And if you would like to know more as to how we could get you similar visuals or implement or upgrade your own infrastructure, even bring it to cloud, I will strongly advise you to get in touch with us and we can have a further discussion. Now, this is where I will pause my presentation and I will let the next speaker, Dilip, handle this next set of events. Thank you so much for your time. Yeah, it was nice having you on board.
So thank you, Praveen, for the wonderful presentation. I think that is part of, the fact that we are talking about Industrial Revolution 4.0 on all connected mechanisms, from the data that is being fed from the floor up to the central core. So SAP is sort of the core of the data, and then it's being fed by the other systems. Oh, and how it's being presented. So that was good to be able to see the features and how it can be enabled for most of these operations by all these companies. I mean, the participants, many of you would be also either head of operations or IT directors, chief operating officers, how you can actually leverage on analytics. It's a very important component. So thank you again, Praveen, for bringing us through that. We will actually adjourn for about 9 minutes. We will start back at 10:50. We just want to give you a short break. Otherwise, it's a very lengthy session. We can provide about 9 minutes of break for a coffee. Just come back again, and we will start shortly. Yeah. So let's pause, and maybe we can play the video. Good. So thank you, everyone, for still staying with us. Seem quite a number of us still here. So welcome back again. I hope you got your short break. Ensure that you feel a bit fresh. I myself too. If you had coffee or you would like to get a coffee quickly, please go do that. When we start again, we'll of course we are going to have another expert, industry expert, to bring us through his part of insights, information, presentation that he has for us. It's even as impactful as a presentation from Alibaba and Praveen himself. Now, we do actually accept question and answers. If you'd like to look for it, please, you will be able to find it on your screen. There's a question and answers that you could click and post your questions. At the end of the session, we could look into questions, and then probably if you would like to ask some questions yourself, we can unmute you also. Let's look into that. Yeah. Now, I think I'd like to start the session back again with Mr. Bong. Now, I met Mr. Bong quite a while right now. He has been quite instrumental, being able to provide solutions for over 20 years with many companies under his operations. He delivers industrial 4.0 smart manufacturing solution using IT, IoT, AI, cloud technologies, and very much a person who is very seasoned in the manufacturing area. Yeah, so we work with Mr. Bong for many initiatives, and we are able to grasp a lot of his also knowledge for our purposes for building a better application and solutions for our manufacturing clients. So I'm sure you will be able to get a very good understanding, insights from Mr. Bong. Please be focused so that you can you are able to take back into your operations what can be presented today. And yeah, again, reminding you that you could actually put in your questions as and when you have into the question and answer box. So let's start again. So Mr. Bong, I'll hand it over to you, and let's go through your presentation. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Dilip. Can you hear me, everyone?
Yes, we can.
I have shared my slide. I think everybody should be able to see my slide now.
Yeah, if you can actually present it. Yeah.
Yeah, so now is a presentation mode. Okay, so good morning, everybody. David, Praveen, Dilip, and the rest of the guests. So I'm Bong from Blue Ocean Data Solution. So basically, I'm the principal consultant. Take care of all the smart manufacturing solution. So today, what I'm trying to do, we will go through some of this agenda. We'll talk a little bit on this smart manufacturing solution uh, by making use of the relevant AI and also the IoT technology. Then we will do some system demo, and maybe if we got time, we can go through some of the success story. So any question, then later on we can go through together as well. Yep. So for Blue Ocean Data Solution, right? So we've been around for more than 10 years. So currently we are serving many customers in Southeast Asia, especially. So the solution that we provide, right, basically designed by our local team. So in other words, we are in a better position to serve our customer in this region. So currently we are having offices in KL as well as in Johor. And we are planning to have another office in Penang somewhere end of this year. So okay, so our main focus will be smart manufacturing solution for manufacturing industry, especially. So the solution that we provide, right, is in line with the Industry 4.0 direction, which is somewhere here. So nowadays, many company, especially the management, looking at, I mean, how can we have real-time monitoring for the operation, okay, for the machine, for quality, and so on. So in order to do this, right, we need to have some kind of linking to the machine and system together so that we're having information. And nowadays, right, we talk about Industry 4.0. Actually, people is moving to Industry 5.0 now. So 5.0 basically is integration or combination of these IoT and AI together. Okay, so this is something that we're going to talk about this. So all these things, right, has something to do with smart factory. Another one is more to big data analysis, data-driven decision making, and so on. So which we'll discuss further. Yep. So over so many years, right, we have developed 15 solutions. So as what you can see here, cover different division like quality control, operation, maintenance, IoT, and also the other one is more to the management side. Okay, so today, right, due to limitation of time, so we will focus on maybe two areas. So quality control, and the other portion will be the application of the IoT and AI for process control. Yeah, so that will be our main focus today. So as means from here you can see, right, we cover different level of operation for a manufacturing company. Right from the lowest level, which is a machine level, and then we do some kind of connection to the relevant system so that achieve the objective of real-time and online monitoring. Yep. So we are going into this for some of this solution. Okay, so the entire smart manufacturing solution, right, is designed according to the modular basis. So customer have a choice to choose where they want to start. Okay, so it depends on the priority, it depends on the pain as well, as what you can see from here. Okay, so there is no fixed rule, we must start from which module first and so on. It really depends, every company is different. So I mean, for the entire digital transformation journey, right, as what you can see here, just now Mr. Praveen talked about SAP. So SAP is under level 1, okay, which is focused on finance, purchasing, that portion, okay. Then we go to the level 2, will be somewhere in the middle. We talk about operation management by using like manufacturing execution system to take care of this portion. And then we go down another level will be the shop floor level, like quality control, like IoT application for the machine and so on. and also the AI application for KC. So there are 3 levels over here. So for a typical manufacturing company, right? So it really depends. It can start from follow the sequence level 1, 2, 3. It also can depend on the pain point. It can start from bottom as well. Okay, so it is very flexible over here. So I hope this will give everybody a complete picture of the entire journey for the how to digitize the entire process. Okay, so I think subsequently let's focus more on the actual application. So okay, so nowadays very hot topic is AI. Okay, and then previously people talk about IoT. So subsequently, right, the best way is a combination of these two. Okay, so AI combined with IoT, then the term is become AIoT. Okay, so anyway, IoT stands for Internet of Things, which, for example, those sensor devices for the machine, which you can link to the system, then go to the cloud, which I'm going to talk about this. So before we okay, so let's take a look of this the application, how this AIoT technology can be applied in typical manufacturing company. So I have given some example over here how this can be used. Like for example, AI for this quality inspection process, which I have some example later on. So typically people depend heavily on human to do inspection, and this maybe not practical anymore nowadays. So later I show you example. Then another area is maintenance. So we can make use of AI and also the IoT technology for predictive maintenance. Mean instead of when the machine down, we go and do corrective maintenance. So the better way, if we can predict when the machine going to fail, that will be even better, right? So that we can prevent all the serious downtime and so on. Okay, so and the rest, as what you can see here, can be used for process optimization, production control, and so on. So let us pick one example to go into detail. Okay, so before that, let's take a look at how the thing works. So just now we talked about, David talked about Alibaba cloud server. So is it somewhere here? Okay, I hope this will give everybody a complete picture. So as what you can see here, in a factory, right, we having a machine, we having all kind of measuring equipment, all kind of sensor, as what you can see from here. So this portion, right, we will link to the relevant system, so that the system it will collect the data. Then this data it will push to the cloud server to do a real-time processing. So once the processing being done, right, then you appear back in your PC or in your this mobile phone, so that you can see all the alert, all the analysis, and so on. Okay, so that is basically how the thing works. So by having this, right, then the whole deployment process it will become much more shorter. So let's take a look of this the application of AI for visual inspection in manufacturing company. So basically, in order to cut short, right, to the entire training process, because the AI, right, you need to do training. You need to train the model such a way that to recognize what kind of defect. This one can be a problem because sometimes you need many pictures, okay, to do training. So there is a way nowadays. So instead of, I mean, it's take long time to train. Another way, tell the model straight away what kind of defect that you have. Okay. Then at the same time, you do learning. Then from there, we can do some testing. Then eventually can deploy in the actual production floor. So this will become much more faster. So how this can be applied? What's the application here? So this is one of the example. So by using AI camera, so after the model being trained to recognize all kind of defect, right? So as what you can see here, which defect is okay, which defect is NG. As what you can see here, there is scratches here. there is a missing screw over here and so on. So by having this, is learning. Okay, so along the way, that is how the model can become more intelligent. So from here, right, the application of this AI inspection system, they are many usually. That's why you can see here. It can do measurement as well. It depends on the camera that you choose. It can do detection. It can do appearance inspection, any missing part of the application that I try to list down here, which is relevant for all kinds of manufacturing industries. So by doing this, right, it can save a lot of time, reduce the operation cost, and so on. So maybe I try to give one example how this can be applied. So maybe you take a look at this short video. You can see my screen now. Okay,
Yes,
so you can,
yes.
yeah, thank you. So from here you can see, right, over here we can upload the picture. I mean, the picture refer to all kind of defect picture to the system. Then at the same time, we teach the system, we teach the model to recognize what kind of defect. Then after that, we do a training. As what you can see now, we train the model so that it can recognize, and at the same time, it keep learning. So once this is done right, then we can apply this model in the shop floor. As what you can see here, all the camera here is a high-speed camera. Then it linked to the model. So from here, right? Okay, 1 minute. From here, what the model trying to do, right? Of course, at the same time, it try to recognize all kind of defect. At the back, right, they do analysis as well. So what kind of analysis will be, it will collect data. So for example, through certain period of time, the inspection, right, how many NG, which NG is the highest, which NG is the second highest, and so on. So by having all this information, right, then it can be very, very useful to the management and also to the engineer to identify area for improvement. Okay, so this is one of the application. So once we have this data collection, then we're going to talk about analysis. So for quality control, right, in manufacturing, it consists of just now was cosmetic inspection, and another portion will be measurement, which involve data. So those having a measurement, precision measurement, so the equipment that you have, right, it can integrate together as what you can see from here. So by having this, there is no manual data entry. So the data, it will go to the system itself. Then they can do analysis in terms of the CPK monitoring, SKC monitoring. And from there, it can trigger you alert for the preventive action. And over here, same thing, you can generate all kind of report, analysis, and so on. So right after this, I'll show to you the real example. So this is one of the some of the example of the application for quality control combined with the IoT technology. So whereby you can see there is no more manual data entry. All the equipment are linked to the system. Then the data go to the system. System will make decision whether pass or fail. That's why you can see here there is a green color, red color, and so on. And this is another picture. I mean, this equipment is quite advanced. Is an image, is an AI image measuring equipment. So at the same time, our system is just beside here to do data collection and to do require alert as well. Okay, so so let's take a look the how this I mean after the data being collected, right? What kind of analysis it can provide to us. So let's take a look here. So you can see my 1 minute, my screen. I try to refresh. So over here, right, after we do data collection, for all the quality equipment or even from the AI model just now, this is where it's going to means 1 minute. Okay, so this is where the data collected. then how it being tabulated on the system itself. And you can see here there is a real-time monitoring. This is every single tab here refer to one parameter. So if out of the spec, right, then it will change to red color. That's what you can see here. Then it will trigger alert. So over here, right, you can do plenty of analysis. Okay. So as what you can see here, if I turn on this one, and you can see the so much of quality variation. So in other words, this is in terms of process performance, this is no good. And you can see so much of variation. If we continue this, right, for sure, it's going to have reject. Yeah. So you look at another example. This one is on the high side, right? On the high side, this information presented to engineer will be like this. Okay, so by right, our process should be at the center, now at the right on the high side. So then this will provide a very important information to our engineer to bring back the process here back to the center. So all this is real time. And you can see here, my system now is I put in cloud. Okay, so this is how I try to demonstrate the cloud technology now, plus IoT connection to the equipment, plus some AI analysis over here. Okay, so over here, what else can be done? So over you can let us take a look of the variation analysis over here. Okay, so let me make it become bigger. And you can see here when we do data collection, right? The system it will analyze for you which data is the highest, the lowest, the data in the medium, and so on. So by doing this, right, you look at your process along the way, and you can see here, my process, this example, is moving to the high side. So it indicates something. So in other words, this will be a very useful information for our engineer. Yeah. So from here, right, it will trigger alert. So you can see here, then the alert here will tell you the date and time when it happened in our spec and so on. Okay. So the detailed information is here. So this will trigger production, okay, to take corrective action. So if I'm the production leader or supervisor, I see this outside, right? What I need to do, maybe I take a look at this one, the chart here, before I take any action. So okay, so you can see here, under normal condition, right? This should be my data. So within the spec here, but suddenly is one point is so far away. So that is how it triggered. So from the alert over here, then we need to have a corrective action. So this is the data collected from the equipment compared to your required spec. And then this is how the people from production need to respond. So like, for example, tooling wear off, then there is what kind of action taken and so on. Okay, so from here you can see, right, this one become a paperless working environments and become a real time as well. So to management, right, this can be very useful. So whenever alert happen, whether our people have taken the action or not, so everything become very transparent in the whole production floor. Okay, so this is one of the example of the how the data collected being analyzed. That's what you can see here. So this one is a real-time dashboard actually. So by doing this, right, the management having a complete picture what happening every day. So from here, right, anyway, you can look at a chart according to which product, according to which month and which year and so on. So it is very flexible. So the entire dashboard design, right, is dynamic. Dynamic in the sense that let's say I having this day I want to know what happening. You just click particular day, you can see the data here. It will change to particular day, and from here, right, it's a certain day there is a rejected lot. You want to do some more analysis. You click here, then it can tell you, okay, it reject because of which parameter and so on. Okay. So this is one of the application. So there are many more actually. So just now through the camera, right, the data collected, then it can present it this way. Okay, which defect is the highest, the second highest, and so on. Okay. So there are many more actually. There are many more. So due to time limitation, I think I need to proceed further. Okay, I come back to this slide. So I hope I have given some idea the application of IoT and AI technology for quality control. Yep. So let's proceed further. Another portion, right, is the AI application for production and process monitoring. Yeah. Okay, so for this case, right, maybe I make it larger. So previously it was linked to measuring equipment. Now for this case, it's linked to machine. So we collect data from the machine. The same thing for maybe data like, for example, machine uptime, downtime, the output, the quality, performance, and so on. So we collect the data, then it processed by the gateway, and this data it can send to the cloud server or go to the local server. That is how you going to have all the real-time analysis. Okay. So this is one example of this application of IoT. So this company, right, basically is a very this company, the factory been I think more than 20 years. So the machine are very old. So we change some of their machine, the temperature controller to digital. That is how you can see it can appear on the screen here. They produce manufacturing, they produce industry lenses. And you can see the lens here need to go through the furnace for hardening. And that is a temperature control. So whenever you're out, right, then you will alert the management. Yep. So this is one application. Another application here can be the plant, facility application. So this is an example happen in a big chemical plant. Okay, so they're having a many electrical motor. Okay, so they suffer one serious problem is the downtime of the motor is unpredictable, meaning it can down anytime. And when it down, right, it causes a big problem to the operation. One motor down, if there is no spare part, right, it can end up downtime maybe half day, 1 day, and so on. So it's a big loss. So by having this, right, we introduce a vibration sensor to the motor. So then it will monitor the condition of the bearing, monitor the motor condition. Then it will collect a real-time data. Then you can set a threshold. I mean, if you can see the data is there is an abnormality, then it will trigger you alert. Okay, so before the problem become too serious, then the maintenance people, they can stand by. Okay, so it can predict when it's going to down. Then they can plan properly. So when they want to have preventive maintenance and so on. So this is one application. So same thing, IoT here can be applied for building as well. So nowadays people talk about ESG, right? ESG or green building compliant. So same thing, we can only monitor the energy consumption, the entire facility, compressor, this cooling tower performance and so on, the temperatures and so on. Okay, so how the data collected from here, right, can appear on the dashboard. So maybe we take a look. So this is one of the example. Okay, maybe I try to enlarge this one. Okay, so I think now it's better. So this one is in a factory, they monitor OEE, overall equipment efficiency. So you can see this one is the OEE performance of the machine. So same thing, every machine you can have uptime, quality performance, output performance, and so on. So same thing for quality, okay? And the machine downtime performance. And over here, you can look at this past 7-day performance in terms of quality. So that from here, it gives some information whether we are doing well or maintain or getting worse and so on. So from here, right, sorry, one minute. Okay, so same thing, the platform I share with you now is in cloud. I access cloud server straight away actually. Okay, so over here, right, you can go into a more detailed analysis for particular machine. Okay, as what you can see from here. I make it smaller. So same thing, you can look at certain machine on certain day. This one is an everyday performance. So if the performance is not satisfactory, you can double click. Then you can find out the day you can see the OE is not so good, 56.5%. And due to what reason? So the entire platform being designed such a way that it's not just about monitoring. We want to do some analysis, and most importantly, we want to find out the root cause as well. Okay. So maybe the last one is okay. Let's take a look of this quality that collected the data just now through the AI inspection. So from here, you can tell you the quality performance for every day. So you can enlarge this one. Okay. So you can do a comparison between in terms of percentage, acceptance rate, and rejection rate, or you want to see the ratio and so on. Okay. So through the AI camera, we can analyze the defect as well. So which defect is the highest, the second highest, and so on. Okay. So I hope I have given some example how through the AI technology, it linked to the relevant equipment, and then through a cloud technology, it do a real-time data processing, and that is how it being displayed on the dashboard now that you are seeing now. And this is how it can help you to do all the analysis, troubleshooting, so that you can take the quick action quickly. Yep. So basically, I have covered most of the important topic. Dilip, I have done. So
Thank you.
Yeah.
So yeah, Mr. Bong. So that was really good. In fact, I was very interested also in many aspects, although I don't have a factory to see and emulate, but quite a number of areas that I could actually see that it will be very useful for the operations people. I mean, many of this, Mr. Bong, I would like to ask you. So many of this that we have, is there a challenge for a lot of organizations to adopt this, and why do you think they are having challenges? I mean, more than what we are talking about budget, what other challenges are they having that to adopt all these kind of systems in place?
Yeah, so I think that's a very good question. So I think on and off, you may heard that some company they go for IR 4.0 initiative, then ended up failure. It happened. It happened. So that is something for us to learn here. So I mean, for the management, right, for the company to adopt this new technology. So not just bring in the technology itself, it is not sufficient. The team must be ready. Okay, the management must have strong commitment. Okay, and then we need to educate the team how to. Just now was a good example. Okay, so I show many graph, right? I mean, how to make use of the information show on the dashboard to trigger action. That is a different knowledge actually and different skills. So meaning the entire organization need to change, management need to change, people mindset need to change, the culture to work need to change, and so on. So this is one of the critical factors.
How can this transformation happen then? I mean, have you seen some organization making it happen? In that case, what have they done to be able to change that kind of a human behaviors and etc.? I mean, this is just a general question for me.
Yeah. To change this, right? You need to work together actually. So, but before that, the project that we choose is important as well. I came across some management, right? I would say too ambitious. Ambitious in the sense that at one time I want to do everything. So the boss may say that, okay, quality is important to me, production is important to me, and I want to do all this together. No, no. So that is not advisable. So we need to identify the pain point. Okay. So to prioritize, maybe we start from one small area. Maybe we start from quality portion. Then from there, we try to apply the technology. Then we from there we learn, and then if proven everything, fine tune everything okay, then we just try to duplicate. By starting from the smaller scale, right, it has the higher chance to succeed actually. So smaller scale, small investment, and people management can see immediate result. Yeah.
I agree with you so much. In fact, we also try to do this with our clients of themselves. We will say we go by phases, to
Yes.
adapt. The preparation involved with the human element is a bit of a challenge, and unless of
You are
course we're
right.
talking about robots, yeah. But
Yeah.
with the human element, we need to ensure we go step by step. I think with step-by-step approach, it's definitely possible on a transformation agenda to be achievable successfully.
Yeah. So maybe you give me 1-2 minutes to share one
Sure,
success
please go
story.
ahead. Yeah.
So you can see, I hope everybody can see my slide. So this is one of the project we had done. This company is a company produce sugar. Okay, the sugar that we consume every day actually come from this factory. So MSM, they're having factory in Johor and also in Prime. So you can see the plant here is very big. It's very big. Okay, so most of the engineer management, they are sitting in another building. So to them, right, is a big problem is that hardly for them to see what happening in the plant. Okay, so very much depends on the feedback from supervisor and so on. Okay, so what we're trying to do will be we introduce IoT technology to them. Okay, so link some of the sensor to the system and then send to the cloud. Then the management having a dashboard I shared with you just now. Look at the dashboard, it will trigger all the alert, predictive analysis. That is how the management, right, take the control again of the plant. Okay, because they have better visualization, what happening, what going to happen, that is how it can take action. The same thing, we do this for their lab as well. So the entire lab being automated, digitized. So the management having a full picture, what happening in terms of quality performance. So something abnormal, then from there it will trigger action. Yep. I hope it gives some idea to everybody.
I think it is very fruitful for us to know this as well, how they have actually used one of the systems and produced the result, the increase of production output, machine utilization, improved product quality. So
Yes,
this
yes.
actually helps for us to be certain that there's
Yes.
using deploying the right product or solution can actually result in a very good improvement or result. Yeah.
Yes, yes. So for this entire transformation process, right, it took more than 1 year actually. Okay, from design, implementation, to train their people, to get ready, to adapt to the new system, new way of doing things, and so on. Yep. But now is the result is very significant actually.
Sure.
Yep. This is one example.
Thank you, Mr. Bong,
Yeah,
for your
thank you.
insightful information. So this is really helpful for everyone to get their, the operational roadmap ready, how they can actually utilize. Now, from a perspective of we have infrastructure as a service from Alibaba Cloud, and from Pinnacle on a core backend SAP as the central to enterprise resource planning software, and with the extension of all these kind of solutions that Blue Ocean Data Solutions has. So we are actually one-stop center for many, if you would like to see how we can actually utilize our expertise and solutions that we have on a bigger picture. This is how this can be done. Yes, it's very depicted very well here on a cloud. Of course, it is underlying there, and SAP being one of the ERP, I mean the main ERP solution here. Of course, there are others also out there, and the solutions down here. So I think what we can do, there are not questions much here, but of course we don't mind people actually speaking out. I think we will allow participant to unmute. So in this case, we can see anyone who wants to
if there is any question, just feel free to voice.
So we're just gonna do that. Sheila, if you're listening, can you unmute the participants? Allow participants to unmute, so we can have some questions. Meantime, yes, Praveen and David. So how do you see that with the market adaptability on transformation agenda? We are not even talking about 5.0 in this case. 5. Just for everyone's purpose of understanding, 5.0 is an extension of 4.0, whereby utilizing human elements a lot, green technology, ESG, those are the ones that is being extended out there. So with 4.0 being the IoT automation, everything that is coming in that sense as a data product, I mean, decision making is being done from that angle as well. But what can be done out of those is what 5.0 is. Yeah. So 5G, IT, IoT is all on the 4.0, but 5.0 is just extending further. Am I right to say, Mr. Bong, on 5.0?
Oh, yes. So 5.0 definitely will be the next generation of technology. Okay, so but before we go into that, is it better we build a strong foundation?
Correct.
Okay, we must make sure all the basic being done properly. Then it's advisable to move. To move further. So this should be the better way, step by step. Yeah.
Any input? Any input, David, from your side on the adaptability? You can unmute yourself, David.
Yeah, actually, I second Mr. Bong. So I think with a lot of these technologies, there are tools they can use to improve your systems, automate. But you need to understand your own workflow, understand your own requirements and how you want to evaluate these. So they are just tools. They are ways to assist you. But customer themselves need to understand how to use it. So I second on Mr. Bong. And actually, I would say that partners come in quite closely and quite useful for this area, because I think sometimes customers don't understand it as well, or don't understand the certain jargon. So partners can come in to assist and consult.
Got any words from you, Praveen? If you have certain challenges that the customers are facing on adapting solutions, what do you think is your point of view on those?
because much of it will be all around the decision making of a management, and also the need or the pain point, I would say, a particular operations is going through. So it's very important to look into the pain points. If the pain points are livable and then life goes on, doesn't really matter. But if you're looking at transformation and that will add to end productivity, this realization doesn't necessarily happen at the floor. It comes in from management or the C-level folks who want to improvise companies' operations. But somewhere the whole intent should be very clear as to how visions can be met, what objectives are relevant, and how much time and investment can a manager or a supervisor, or even at the highest level, they can invest. And of course, you got to know your people. If the people participation, like I said, is very inconclusive, then there are risks as such. But let's just look at Nokia or some other company as an example, or Daewoo or some other companies in the past. See, every time it's just as good as you not having to purchase a phone. You can't be holding a keypad phone no more. Somehow technology forces you to get on the next level. So if you are of that sort of a mindset, it comes at a price. It comes at a certain sacrifice. Or there are challenges when it, but you cannot live without it. Eventually, you will get basically into it, like it or not. But if you realize it and you make a roadmap or try investing in small bits, I believe companies will still be relevant. So if you want to stay relevant, it's as good as you purchasing a new device or a gadget or a car. If you're investing in all these, obviously you need to invest in a company which is meant to grow. So such realizations has to be there before all these initiatives are started. Then again, there are majority of the companies who are fairly laying down and waiting on time and all that kind of thing. But aggression is the key. So if you want to be in the market, you got to get aggressive. You got to invest your time and people effort in doing all that you need to do. So assessments are the way to begin. So assess internally, look into what is missing, and then analyze at the highest levels when and where do you want to be as a company a few years from there. Naturally competition exists, so it's all part of a cycle where you need to sort of stay in the competition, stay relevant, and then impress upon all your partners and stay ahead of the technology. So these are all the realizations, and then things will probably naturally follow from there. Very much.
Thank you, Praveen. So let's see whether anyone has any questions. We have actually allowed you all to unmute. Anybody has any questions for either David or Mr. Bong or Praveen or myself, if you have? Let's give them a couple of minutes. Is anybody with any questions so far? In fact, we had some QC systems being shown, and of course from Alibaba also. There's a infrastructure as a service and some technological updates. If there's any questions, we could take on. Right, so everyone is pretty much quiet. I think we are sort of like in Malaysia and the rest of the region, we are just still adopting a lot of systems and etc. Cost can be one of the main issues here, of course, but at some point, I think we need to move at the right direction. I think digitalization is not an option. It is a must to stay relevant in the industry. So here, even in Malaysia, there's quite a bit of grants available as well. Feel free to keep in touch with me if you'd like to see what your options are for grants, for example, incentives. Let's put it in that way: incentives by the government and policymakers in a whole. How you could actually make use of that to utilize that to lessen the burden, of course, to employ certain solutions the market. Right? So, is there no other question? No questions here from the floor? So, any other topics that either of you would like to bring up? Meantime, we still have another 5 more minutes before we can actually end the session. Feel free, either of you, David or Mr. Bong or Praveen. Maybe I will, yeah.
Maybe we should ask the team or the participant any show of hands who would like to have a personalized approach. Maybe we could communicate with you if you could just leave your details behind. So if there's anything else that you want to be discussing in private, you could just show hands and share your emails that we can try to get in touch with you.
Sorry guys, I think Lo Derek has a question under the Q&A.
Oh, really? Okay, okay, sure. So let me see, Mr. Derek Lowe, yeah? Do you share more about the internet security, especially to cloud data? Okay, this is a fantastic question. We can take on Mr. David, maybe. David, do you like to?
Yes. Regarding internet security, you talk about like a WAF, DDoS, this kind of security, or like a data at rest, data in transit. Which ones are you more interested to understand about?
Well, the question seems to be from the Q&A.
Okay.
If you're
Derek, the question is directing to the cloud security, David.
Yeah. Okay, so so Alibaba Cloud actually supports a lot of our Alibaba services. So Taobao, Tmall, and then you would actually notice that we have large because it's a large entity and it's a quite visible one. So we actually have a lot of DDoS attacks every year, and it gets larger and larger. So I would say that our security solutions in this area, WAF and DDoS, are actually exceptionally strong. They are top in China. They're the best in China, definitely. And in the world, I think it's in the Gartner's leading quadrant. Yeah, but for this one, maybe I can get your details to discuss with you a bit more offline. Because for one, I don't cover security, so I'll bring in a security expert to talk about it. But I would say that definitely our security is tip top, and we use it ourselves, and we provide it for our customers as well.
Maybe I'll add a bit because I'm more on the technical side. Don't mind, yeah. Talk a bit
Go
of your
ahead,
infrastructure. So my experience, Derek, has been pretty positive because hosting side, there's something called SOC compliance. So you can look up to Google or somewhere. The SOC compliance talks about certification, which is ISO 27001, allows data privacy, security, hosting, as well as all the so-called port controls or even application level, anti-spam mechanisms, identifiers, IPSs, intrusion prevention systems. All of these are layered within Alibaba. So what happens is their rendering comes in as a VPC or a virtual private cloud. It can be accessible, and in some cases, you can opt to create an infrastructure if you're hosting, looking to move your host, I would say, if that's more relevant. You could probably engage who Alibaba, not directly, but even with our initiative, we could do such migrations. We will probably do a P2B sort of a thing and ensure that any type of database or application or server style hostings are fairly managed. There are some papers to this. Of course, if you're interested, we could separately share this with you if you are willing to share your email address and details. So that will give you a lot more information. But if not, much of it is already posted on alibabacloud.com. You can go take a look at it. So they have all these sort of compliances naturally met in establishing country level or country specific requirements. So one example I could do do you here is a Malaysian e-invoice is sort of expected to be localized. It has to be encrypted ASCII, like AKA 64 or 128-bit encryption, all of that, right? So how do we make sure all this is working? We have to subscribe into such credentials, and we have to sort of manage such hosting from the cloud hosting partner, which is Alibaba, and then we cater such requirements, make it compliant. So tomorrow, some authority come about auditing your systems and be able to show this paper, which has that compliance, more or less it will stop them from querying anything, or internal compliance. If you really want to do such test cases and all that, we could try and go through a session with you to show you how these things are being laid out on a virtual level, I would say. As a user and also as a provider, I've been fairly satisfied with what has been offered, and I could get a fair visuals on what type of intrusions that might have happened, attacks that has been repelled, and I could see that almost the whole thing is masked in some cases, or it's not even visible unless you expose it in such ways. So there are things which are layered into this, starting from the server all the way until site management. So we could talk this out separately if that satisfies your answer, Derek.
Good. So I think we can come to the end of our webinar. I'll probably, if there's a question question that you have and you'd like to be answered later, please feel free to email me on this information that is being provided on your screen right now. Well, I would love to, of course, thank you for the speakers here, because Praveen and Mr. Bong and David, who spend a considerable time this morning for your valuable insights, because it's very important how organizations can drive operational excellence and on the scalability also. It was more inspiring to see on your part what you could actually show us. I'm pretty sure these are some things that can be taken back by our participants and see how it can be actually employed. And for that reasons, of course, they can keep in touch with us and see what and how we can actually do a little bit of engagement with them and bring them onto par for the Industrial Revolution 4.0. I believe that many of them are trying the best to, come about into Industrial 4.0, but a little bit lost on what needs to be done first and foremost. If you have this kind of doubts, how you can actually tackle, feel free to be in touch with us. So we want to thank our partners, of course, Pixelcare, Blue Ocean, Alibaba Cloud, making this event possible. If you have any other further question, please feel free to email us, contact us, and we will be able to catch up next. So again, to all our participants, thank you for your time. We wish that you had a bit more questions for us, but will be a big challenge. But unfortunately, more of a quiet participants. So, but I'm happy that it was a very meaningful event. Right? Okay, so thank you so much, Mr. Bong, Mr. Praveen, David, and all the participants. Give us some reactions at least.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for your time.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Pleasure. See you.
Yeah.
See the thumbs up, Adrian. Thank you. Thanks, Max.
Thank you very much.